I presume a lot of you who listened to the teaching on Friday and Thursday last week knew what to get because we gave you the shopping list last week. Some of you have already bought, some of you already know what to do. Do you want to show the videos, Vince?
Yeah, I have them teed up here. Just a moment.
These are the videos which has been made over years by different Keshe Foundation supporters around the world. So they share it. We hope if you know any other way to do it, to share it with us. There is a way you can use gas to heat the copper up to nanocoat. It needs a lot of expertise. There is a way you can connect the wire to the electric current at 1.5 volt or 2 volts and 1 amp or 0.5 amps. You can still nanocoat. The new way of nanocoating, which you will understand, can be done with these systems, which you see now as a power supply, that the plasma itself will nanocoat the wires too. This is a new development of the technology through plasma. It costs a little more or less than nothing, but you need the first system to be able to make the plasma.
Mr. Keshe, if you want to expand your view of the Zoom, then you'll be able to see the screen share.
What do you want me to? Oh, you want me to get this guy down?
Just click on the maximize on it. There you go. Thank you.
Okay. So now we all see how it's done. This is from videos of the Keshe Foundation. It's done. Pardon? Move this window. Okay. This is done by Arman. We need his voice. He's muted.
Okay, sorry, I forgot to do something. Just 1 sec, I'll redo that.
Okay. No problem. So what do you need? One thing very important. There are a few things to remember, and it's very important. As you see in the hand of Arman, you cannot touch nanomaterials with the bare hand. You have to wear gloves because nanomaterials are absorbent of energy into your body. You have to wear gloves. The other thing is the temperature. You have to be aware of it. Thirdly, which is important, you realize, make sure your caustic does not carry any chlor or chlorine in it. This can give you different kind of materials which you might not need. Okay, can you go? It's still muted.
Sorry, just 1 sec.
Hello everybody. In this video we're going to show a simple way how to nanocoat any material. Zinc, or it's going to be copper, or it's going to be iron. All you have to do, over here we have caustic soda, NaOH, and you have to put some of the caustic soda on the bottom of the container. Try to cover every single part. Then we put the material on the mesh and boil the water. When the water is boiled, try to wear your gloves. This is a little bit difficult to do precise, but you have to right away cover the lid. Yeah. Try to cover the material. This slimming process is gonna go half an hour or so. So leave it as is, 24 hours in the caustic. And then in next video, we're gonna show how to steam nanocoat. Thank you.
That's how simple it is to make a nanomaterial. And now we see the second part.
Hello everybody, in this video we're going to show how to nanocoat second time, which is going to be vapor nanocoating. After deep nanocoating, we're going to take the material and hang it straight up. Bear with me. Okay. Then we're going to put the caustic again. Very little this time. You don't need that much. And do the second time, vapor nanocoating. Gonna leave this process to go another 24 hours. Then after 24 hours, we have to take our voltmeter and try to drain our voltage out. This way we're gonna create more stable nano layers, which is gonna repeat this process several times. Every 5-6 hours, we just have to drain the voltage out and let it dry for 24 hours. And in next video, we're going to show how to do it third time and drying, which is most important thing. Thank you. Hello, in this video, we're going to show how to dry material. It takes a long time, actually. We have to empty the water. And we have to leave little bit water in the container. And we have to close it down and leave it just a little bit open window that you can dry it very slowly. This process takes like 3-4 days minimum. You have to understand that drying process which will firm your nanomaterial. And you have to do one more thing every 6 hours, just with your voltmeter, try to put in a microvolt and try to touch one side on the mesh and second on the top of your nanomaterial. You're going to see right away that we are draining. And this process you have to repeat in several times. In 2-3 days, every 6 hours, you just have to open up your container and do this process, which in time you're going to have a firm nanocoat material. Thank you.
You can do this yourself at home, or you leave it to people who know what to do with it and mass produce it. The mass production
Not the X, the minus. Cancel that.
Cancel, cancel.
The minus.
Well, okay, no problem.
Try again.
I minimize it, but you gotta do it by the computer. So what you've seen is this process, first step of producing nanomaterials. That's how you do with your system, how you do with your copper wires. And you have started the first step to produce your own power supplies. Very simple. To nanotechnologists, up to a couple of years ago when we opened it in public, this only could be done by using gamma rays and nuclear material. And now you see all of you are nuclear physicists. That's how it is, how easy it has become, how I made human race nuclear physicist race. And the only nation which is left behind cannot touch nanomaterial by law is the Belgium citizens. If you're a Belgian citizen, it's passed in your parliament. If you touch nanomaterial, make nanomaterial, you are a terrorist person and terrorist organization. It's ingrained, is enshrined in your law. It was done by the people who stopped the technology, tried to stop this technology, and they thought they can stop the whole human race because they could pass such a law in Belgian parliament, then nobody will do, and the Keshe Foundation technology will die. So if you're a Belgium, as far as we know, if you produce nanomaterials, if you make any of these coils, you become like Keshe Foundation, a terrorist organization. So you have to go to your government, submit your nanomaterials, get their approval before you can join the rest of human race. This is part of the law of your country. As we say, we have to obey all the rules and all the laws, so this is law in your country. Now, what you have to understand, tomorrow, when you made your nanomaterial, we teach you how to make the GaNs state, the free plasmas. You need to make a lot of these GaNs material deliberately, as much as you need, as much as you can. So when you are making these little cubes, try to make a lot of them. Try to make at least 5 or 6 of these big cubes, copper sheets, that you can produce large amount of free plasma, what we call a GaNs, tomorrow or in the coming weeks. So now you see how we are opening the blueprint. We are opening, not only just giving you a diagram, but teaching you how to do it. Never in a man's history, knowledge has been shared so openly, so directly for the benefit of mankind. So what you have to realize, try to make as many of these as possible. We can produce up to 1 million boxes a month by the end of this year in Italy. We encourage companies who want to join us to come in. We give you not only the blueprint as we are opening, but we can supply you the machines and the technology in the background that you can join us to produce as much as possible rapidly. You got to realize one point. When you put these units in operation, you save not only yourself from heavy energy costs, which stop you from heating your house or being able to use energy freely, but you release your nation from the shackles of a huge debts to oil companies and to oil nations. Because now, if you're an African nation, if you're a European nation, if you're American or Chinese, with this technology, by the time you finish on Friday, you find out how free you become. You don't use, let's say if you have 20 power stations in your country, you can shut down 19 of them. You only need to run one. One enough to create the signals down the grid. As I said, we will give a large number of these units to different nations. Next week or the week after, when we finish with the original orders, I'll invite the ambassador of Palestine to Keshe Foundation, and we'll give the Palestinians 1,000 units to go to Palestine next week. The week after, we release 1,000 units across Italy that by Christmas, Italians benefit by allowing this technology to be developed here. And every day, we calculate on how much order we receive. Accordingly, part of the production will be given to the African and the third world nation. We know that even in Israel, there are people who sleep hungry because they can't afford energy bills. We'll send units to Tel Aviv for the Israelis the same. So with the new technology, we force sharing of knowledge, and in 2 weeks' time, we'll have the Palestinian ambassador who you saw in the presentation of the world ambassadors here in Keshe Foundation, or at the site of the factory to receive the first units to be flown into Palestine. At the same time, we'll have our Ghanaian or Nigerian representative of the Keshe Foundation to ship 1,000 into Africa. For every 1,000 units we receive, we put at least 3,000 units out. In the coming weeks, when the competition builds up, we reduce the price. For every unit you buy, we ask you to donate and pay for a second or a third unit. So the expansion of the technology and use of it depends not on your generosity, but understanding that it's the time to be equal. So we put the price for 1 unit, you donate 3 units, or you pay for 3 units. 1 which goes to your nation, and 1 will go to a third world nation. This process becomes very easy. We have already produced the first batch to leave by this Friday, and next week we have 10,000 units online ready to go. The prices will be kept the same. You see, and I explained to you, the process is looks simple, but it's not that simple. Secondly, to get it done that everybody can use it, all they needed, the young can't produce this system. So we need huge production organizations. We are prepared to support you. We finance the countries which they can't do, but this time we don't teach you to fish. We fish together that nobody will go hungry. So the process is very simple. You buy 1 for yourself and you share 2 more with others. We've seen a number of people who come to us and say, I just want to buy for myself. Orders which are single will meet. Our contract is 2 years time delivery. We put it in our site. Single orders, agreement is 2 years delivery. Go and get it somewhere else, because our ethos is the same. It will stay the same. There will be hundreds of people who would like to supply the same. But understand one principle. You share, we have more to share. You steal, there is no more to share. You steal from humanity, you will lose, because this time round, we all get together very rich, very quick, and at the same time, we become rich not in the pocket, we become rich in understanding that the society works collectively throughout this planet. Then we become one race, one nation, one planet, and then we can achieve peace. This time, you cannot go and say, my government taxed me. You cannot say, I have to pay to my government and the ministers will take all. This time, you make it at home, you use it at home. No minister can tell you what to do at home. No minister can tell you what to eat at home. No minister or president can tell you what to do when you're sick. If a president says you cannot use a plasma technology when you've got a cancer, there's something wrong with it, you say, President, give me the solution. I do it myself. I take the hold of the energy supply myself, that I make sure my child doesn't go hungry, my child doesn't go cold in the winter. You cannot supply to me freely the way I can do it. So we have two choices. I'm the president of my life. I'm the president in charge of my situation in my house. You are incapable to serve me and your nation. There is no need when the leaders cannot meet the demand of the nation. So the situation is very simple. We haven't started a revolution. We have started evolution of science. And that's where we're going to change. You've seen how much you have dug copper out of the mines of Africa and you never put anything back. And now you've seen with the greed how much you have missed in using a simple product. You are happy with the crumbs, what you call electric current. Now, with a plasma current, you can have whatever you need and you like. Even the top scientists around the world in the governments cannot believe such a thing is sitting on the table in front of them. Am I correct? Arman has just come back from a trip from two world leaders nations of Armenia and Georgia, sitting on the board with the top scientists to analyze it. They're still baffled by it. Correct? They want formulas. We'll ask the sun to send the formula of its energy of the plasma. When the sun will send it, we'll give it to the University of the President. So now you see how simple it has become. No one can call you a criminal because all you're doing is the same wire they gave you to wire your house. Nobody can tell you it's a criminal activities because it's the same caustic as is used in presidential palaces and in people's home and in the barbecue shops to clean up the system. And nobody can tell you how to connect a wire the way you like. This is what I told you. No government at no level can stop humanity to progress from now on. Because we have mined enough copper that we can produce systems so easily. We have enough caustic that we can produce as much as we like to nanosize. If some of you don't know where to get caustic, caustic is made very easy. Does anybody wants to explain how you make caustic? When you make your barbecue, keep the ashes. The ashes of your barbecue, and then boil them. Am I correct? More or less. Then you got your caustic. There is no nuclear material, according to the Belgian government, imported from Iran to produce a hidden what they call a nuclear laboratories in Belgium. That was the threat. The stupidity of the leaders deprived Belgium of one of the biggest national assets they had, which was the Keshe technology and Keshe Foundation in the nation. So they robbed you of the biggest thing. Now the Italians have allowed us. We have opened the factories here, and the asset sits with the rest of the Europe. And the Belgium can't even import it because it's illegal in their country to produce nanomaterials. You have two choices. Shut the parliament, put the president and the king and the prime minister in prison, then you're all free. Your freedom in Belgium comes by one simple move. Don't touch any nanomaterials, otherwise you're all criminals. Because it's a law in your nation. The rest of the human race, you're welcome to a free energy. We teach you everything step by step. Step by step in this week, I even show you how many turns. I show you how to turn it and how to do it, how much wire you need. If you can't get hold of wire 14, it means you have a less power system, but you still can produce the same system. If you get a 14, it's powerful enough to stand high resistance temperatures. So what you need is very simple. You have everything at home. You have everything which sits in your house. You have a wood, you burn it. You have ash, you mix it. You go on the internet, see how you make caustic. It's very simple. Then you don't even need to buy it. You have the copper wires. Pull the wires off the walls you don't need anymore. You know, the basement you don't use, take the wires out, becomes your power supply. Old wiring system in the house, you know, those twisted ones with a cloth on it, they are the best copper wires you can use, pure copper. So you have everything to start the first foundation of energy system, which when you use it properly, we show you how to make food and a medicine. And this is the first thing you need after the energy. Are there any questions? Do you see any questions in the background? The what? What do they want? How to make the springs. Which camera do you want to have it? Fabio? Can they want to see a closer look at these wires? Can you zoom in? There's a spot I have to go in that you can see me. Is this good? This crosses for this reason. He gets a good shot.
Is it possible to make some lights there in the front?
Pardon? Oh, you can't see it. If I put my hand behind it, is good? Okay. Would you? Oh, sorry. Would you like to hold your book here for a second? Sabrina is the lady who translated for you in the third conference. She's here now with the camera crew. If you look at it, it is a coil of a thinner dimension, anti-clockwise. The same here, anti-clockwise. They have to be inserted back to back. And when you get on this side, you twist this wire back into the center of the thin one. So then this is what you're going to get. Stay there, I'll come back. This is like a 80 turn. That's what it looks like, a 80 turn. And this is like 160 turn of different gauge. If you go that way, we can see it. So you can see both. Is that okay? Perfect. So, but two different kinds. No, these are the smaller and the bigger. There you got two loops. This is for, if we call, this is for loop 1. This is loop 1, and this is loop 2. The smaller one has two inside, one inside the other, and it's the same with the loop 2. You need two loops like this. You need two loops like this, one inside, one outside, and each loop has two, one inside and one outside. Yeah, so in fact, each loop, each set of loops is two here and two here. So it's 4 of them. 4, 2 of the bigger inside each other, and 2 of the smaller inside each other. But you need 3 sets of. You need 3 sets. If let's talk it this way. You have, let me take it off, then we are all understanding what we are talking. Small. Pen, black, rubber. Oh no. Rubber. I try to get this off. I try to get this off. I take this off. I take this off. Okay, let's connect these that we know what we're talking about. This is A, okay? A, and this is B.